Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
I'm meteorologist Joe Anslayer with your latest on a Wednesday. Be mindful and weather aware. Take proper precautions for some hot, hazy, humid weather, some Triple H weather out there today. Our northern and eastern panhandle spots, among others, nearby too, including some heat advisories today. The northern panhandle, peak heat index up to 102 for that feel-like temp. For the eastern one, peak heat index up to 105 is listed. We're stacking around moderate heat risks in Charleston areas today. If you're in the red, some major heat risks. So if you're sensitive to heat, or all persons may have to take necessary precautions. Underneath the ridge today, so hot and dry. And then by late Friday night, and through the weekend, I'll watch for multiple likely chances of rain again. They could be heavy or excessive at times, with some chances of thunderstorms too. Charleston had some near average temps yesterday, a little below for the low, a little above that for the high. 89 for the high, average is 86. Be mindful of some of that river valley fog that's out there as well. May affect your morning drive for some up to widespread dense fog. Cities like Chicago, New York City, those are smoke icons. Wildfire smoke dropping in with a northwest wind flow aloft. New York City heating up near 98 today. Washington, D.C. potentially approaching a record high again, 102 for them. Northern areas, highs mid-90s, feels like 102 with your heat advisory today. Lows warm 70s tonight. 90s to near 100. Eastern Panhandle today with the higher heat index too with your advisory. Very warm lows in the 70s. Sunny and hazy skies will linger today with the haze, and tonight too, lows in the 70s. Huntington, you're near 95, Bluefield at 87 today. So hot, hazy, humid through Thursday, then watching for multiple likely chances of rain that may be heavy at times. The ridge breaks down and some lower temps in the 80s next week.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
A busy day in the newsroom. Jeff Jenkins will stop by to give us an update. An historic grant for West Virginia University. We'll talk to the president of WVU, Michael Benson. It's MetroNews Talkline, and we are underway.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the Metro News Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is Metro News Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set lineup link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Cue Dave and TJ. You're on. Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave in Morgantown, TJ in Charleston. Say good morning to all of our great radio affiliates in and around the state of West Virginia. We appreciate you letting us be part of your day. Thanks for watching in on the Metro News TV app. Don't forget, you can download that to your smart TV or your favorite mobile device. We're on YouTube and Facebook Live as well. Phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. You can always text the show, 304-TALK-304. Dr. Michael Benson, bottom of the hour. He's president at WVU. An historic grant, $321 million coming in. We'll tell you all about that bottom of the hour. We'll also talk to Helsing, the company in Berkeley County, making a $50 million investment over in the Eastern Panhandle. That's coming up second hour. And we are keeping an eye on Harrison County. The contested, yes, there is still a contested primary race left over from May involving the House of Delegates and candidates Tim McNeely and incumbent Laura Kimball. We're expecting a decision from that contested race in Harrison County sometime this hour. Mike Nolting keeping an eye on that. So lots going on today. Say good morning to TJ Meadows in the Charleston and Cova Insurance Studios. Good morning.
Good morning. Every dollar counts, but I don't know if $50 is going to get it done. But I'm
It's
with
a
you.
start. You pass the hat, TJ, and you just keep going, right?
Nothing wrong with that at all.
$50 invest. Somewhere, a $50 investment is a big deal to somebody, right?
You're right. Start early, man. Start early.
Don't know if that's going to build any drones, but, maybe a lemonade stand or two.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right, busy day in the newsroom yesterday. There was a standoff. There have been protests. The DEP handing down decisions. Jeff Jenkins is trying to keep track of all of it. He joins us from the Metro News newsroom this morning. Jeff, good morning.
Hey, how you guys doing? Good to see you.
All right, let's start with Kanawha County. There was a standoff. There was a stabbing. There was a canine that was stabbed. Sort all this out for us, Jeff.
Yeah, it was all unfolding about 24 hours ago up in eastern Kanawha County in Shillian, just right along the road there, which is State Route 61. It all started at about 9 o'clock when a man came into the Parmar marathon station there, reported he had been stabbed, and he was bleeding badly from his back. Sheriff's deputies arrived on the scene, found out the suspect, maybe a suspect, and they determined later it was the suspect, was in a house just a couple of doors down there from the convenience store. They got a warrant to search the house. They sent in a canine named Jet. He went in, and according to sheriff's deputies, that the man that they thought was the suspect still had a knife and stabbed the dog in the head. They got the dog out. Then they tried for several hours. U.S. Marshals came on the scene. They also had state police, and the report is, they told us, that they tried for several hours to talk the man out. He did not come out. They used things that they use. They used tear gas, other things to try to get him out. Didn't come out. Then they did enter, had a warrant to enter, and they said that the man made an aggressive move toward them, and he was shot and killed. We don't have his name. We don't have the name of the stabbing victim yet, and we expect to get those at some point today. Sergeant Jeremy Burns is the spokesman for the Kanawha County Sheriff's Department. And he says this was a violent situation right from the beginning.
A victim was stabbed. We believe that same suspect stabbed one of our canines. And even after those two things occurred, we took every step possible to get this situation resolved without lethal force. But unfortunately, lethal force was eventually utilized.
And that lethal force is under investigation, as usually is the case with those type of things. We don't know yet, what started it, what started the domestic. And we really don't know, we don't know the condition of the man that was stabbed. And so hopefully we'll get the answers to some of those questions today. The dog, Jet, is doing okay. He's in stable condition. He was rushed to an animal hospital here in the Charleston area and was treated after he was stabbed in the head.
It's a bizarre situation.
Yeah.
You said Eastern Kanawha County. Do we know where on 61 this?
Yeah, just
happened?
Shillian.
Okay,
Yeah, right there in Shillian. Yeah, just.
Gotcha.
It's really. If you travel the turnpike,
sure.
You can see where it was.
Yeah.
It's just right over after you go through the toll booths heading toward Charleston. Get on that straight stretch, kind of look down. People might know where the Parmar Marathon Station is, just right along the main drag there on 61, in Shillian, near the Lopez Bridge, just down from where the Lopez Bridge there crosses the Kanawha River. That hooks 60 and 61. So that's where it was. So we'll hopefully get some, new information on that today, and some additional information on that today. Also, we'll stay in Kanawha County just for a moment. There's a proposal by this company called Clean Seas, West Virginia, and their proposal is it's a plastic conversion. They'll do some type of, there's a process that you can take plastics and convert them so you can use them for other things. And they propose putting in a conversion plant, where the old 84 lumber used to be, off of U.S. Route 60. It's really close to Riverside High School. And so the DEP is considering a clean air permit for them. And this is a process the DEP goes through. If someone wants to build a plant or anything, you have to get an air quality permit. So they have a public comment period. They have a public hearing. So they had a public hearing last night in Bell, and there were residents who showed up there just concerned about what they've learned about this conversion process, maybe some answers to questions that they don't have, and expressing, just expressing some concern. And you can hear some of that concern in some of these. We'll just play a comment from that. And the Citizen Action Group was there and others expressing some concern.
The operation poses potential health risks to the people in the Upper Kanawha River Valley, especially for those most vulnerable. Our students at local schools and community members who live nearby and visit the library, the clinic, and the shopping complex.
Okay, so you could hear that there a little bit. Just that's someone from the Citizen Action Group who she's speaking about the concern about, the project. And community members say there's already been some misinformation they think that the company's put out. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. We'll see if there's certain things that the DEP, they're not ruling. They're not making decisions on. They're only making decisions on pretty narrow things.
Yeah, the permit. Yeah,
the permit. And so we'll see what happens there. Jack Carlson was there. Jack Carlson was there. He got a good detailed story. You can read about that at WVMetroNews.com. Guys, something we're watching coming up this evening. Hugh, it's significant because First Energy, Mon Power, has proposed this large natural gas-powered power plant for Fort Martin, just north of Morgantown. And there's opposition to that. The PSC will have a public hearing tonight, both virtual and in person, at their offices in Charleston, plus virtual. They'll take testimony beginning at 5:30. Then the evidentiary hearing, where they take testimony, the PSC takes testimony, begins tomorrow. So First Energy, Mon Power, proposing this plant. And there are a lot of interveners. These are a lot of groups that have come out against it and will voice their opposition. UMWA, Brian Sanson, the president of the UMWA, is supposed to speak tonight. Sierra Club is against it. They're expressing concern, different concerns. One, the coal industry or the coal, the union, upset because of what it will take away from a coal-fired power plant. Mm-hmm. There's other concerns that are being expressed. Of course, First Energy has, reasons that they're proposing that this plant take place. So we'll see what happens with that. It'll be interesting, I think, to hear those comments tonight. That comes up at 5:30 as the state moves, and we've heard this, moving toward natural gas-fired power plants and to fuel data centers. That's some of the plan here. So that's something that we'll be watching this evening.
I thought about taking vacation tomorrow just to go over and watch the hearings.
Well, you can come upstairs during the breaks. We'll have it on. You don't have to take vacation. Come on, just come upstairs.
I have a show to do, so I thought,
we could come up during the break.
Jeff can assign you. TJ, you don't have to use PTO for such things.
Is that the way it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, what about the earlier this week, another heavy rainstorm up in Mason County? There was flooding there on the Monarch campus where they're building a data center. DEP has weighed in. What did they have to say?
Yeah, DEP has weighed in. So what happened is another heavy rain over the weekend. So the second time since late May, since actually Memorial Day, the second time, there's been a flooding mud event that has gone into this housing development or this subdivision that's right beside where Monarch is preparing the site for a data center, is the easiest way to say it, north of Point Pleasant. And it was a lot more houses, several more houses that got the mud and the water back in May. But it rained hard again on Saturday, and mud and rain got into 3 houses, the property of one and the crawl spaces of 2 other. And Monarch responded, and they had cleaners there, and the company responded to that. Now, if you see our photo at the website, you can see how close this is to those houses. It's big, and it's built up. And the DEP came out yesterday, to your point, Dave. They came out yesterday, and they issued what's called an unilateral enforcement order to Monarch, if I can say that right, to, quote, immediately repair and strengthen the stormwater controls that failed, install additional erosion and sediment controls where needed, and take whatever actions are necessary to prevent similar releases from occurring in the future. So basically, they're telling them, you got to get this straightened up. Whatever it takes to do a better job with how, when it rains, how that water, that runoff is controlled. They also issued an order, the DEP, that they said that there was some work taking place on another part of that big area that actually didn't have things in place yet to control stormwater work started before things were in place. And so they said, stop that until you get things in place. We did hear last night, I got an email from Monarch, Jason Bechtel, you guys have had on this show, and this is his statement. We are working directly and collaboratively with West Virginia DEP to remedy and upgrade the controls it identified. Since Saturday night, we have been in close contact with both DEP officials as well as local residents affected. Our priorities are neighbors first and foremost. As we share the community and DEP's concerns, we will continue to address them immediately. So that is the reaction from Monarch.
I mean, you got to do it right. You can't throw water on your neighbor. They've changed the contour of the land. I mean, I couldn't do that if I was doing something at my house, throw water. You just can't do that. So they got to get their act together on this one.
Yeah, it's a huge project too, right? It's a huge project. And I talked to Bechtel on Monday. This is before this order came out. And he said that they had their engineers there, their contracted engineers there, trying to come up with a better way to handle this. And you had him on the program, both you guys had him on the program when they were talking about their Good Neighbor program, where they're basically offering to buy out residents in this subdivision. Meadowlands Estates is the subdivision, and 30 homeowners have already done that. Either they've, it's in the process, or it's been closed, or it's somewhere in the process, but 30 of those 53 homes have already sold out to Monarch. So we'll see what happens with the other 23. I mean, what's happened with these two events, and I know Monarch, they have come out every time and said, I think Bechtel himself, he was on the scene on Sunday over the weekend after this happened.
Sure.
So we'll see what happens with the rest of those, but 30 of the 53 are in the process of being owned now by Monarch.
You can read about
leaving
all of those stories over at the website, wvmetronews.com. Told you, busy day in the newsroom. Jeff, we appreciate the update. Thank you, buddy.
Okay, see ya.
Coming up, Fox News Radio's Jonathan Savage will get us the latest. Strikes continue in Iran. The blockade going back in place. We'll get the latest coming up next. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
For over 30 years, High Technology Foundation has been committed to building a stronger West Virginia. Our mission, economic diversification. By fostering innovation and supporting tech initiatives, we pave the way for a brighter future. From cutting-edge research to tech-driven solutions, we're transforming the landscape. Join us in creating opportunities and driving progress. Let's build a diverse economy together. Visit WVHTF.org. High Technology Foundation, shaping West Virginia's future.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
With Metro News Hotline, if it's trending.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cava GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thorod.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
U.S. Central Command announcing a new round of strikes against Iran Tuesday evening, hitting dozens of military targets near the Strait of Hormuz and Iranian coastal areas. Let's go to Fox News Radio's Jonathan Savage for more. Jonathan, good morning. A fourth straight night of airstrikes against Iran.
Yeah, and the fourth straight night was followed on by the first daytime strikes for some time. 90 minutes of daytime strikes earlier today, focusing on a particular island in the Strait of Hormuz, which is strategically important. They had cruise missile stocks there, and the U.S. military took part in that operation in order to take them out. This coincides with the reinstatement of the blockade of Iranian ports, and we're told that U.S. forces have already redirected 2 commercial vessels since that blockade restarted.
What is the White House saying about the severity of the attacks? Are we expecting those to intensify as this moves on?
Well, we have from President Trump a warning, a threat to Iran that next week it gets really bad. That was what he told my colleague Trey Yingst yesterday. He's threatening to target power stations, bridges, eventually energy infrastructure, unless Iran returns to negotiations. And according to Axios, there was a major meeting in the Situation Room yesterday to look at the options available to President Trump and U.S. Central Command. This is clearly, because President Trump says it is, a way of pressurizing Iran back to the negotiating table. Of course, it would be controversial if President Trump gave the order to attack bridges and electricity generators. It would raise legal questions as well, because it would have such an impact on the civilian population. But it's clearly a threat President Trump feels he has to make right now.
Fox News Radio's Jonathan Savage. Jonathan, yesterday at this time we were talking about the possibility of tolls or fees of 20%. The president had thrown that idea out there. By the time we got off the air, he had backed off of that. What happened?
Yeah, President Trump did back off of that. He changed his mind on it, and he says it's because he had conversations, productive conversations, with Middle East leadership. In other words, I think they came to him and said, this is an idea for us. This is incredibly expensive for shipping. It could lead to prices going up. It would damage our economy, so please don't do it. And President Trump called it a United States reimbursement fee, but he says it's being replaced with trade and investment deals from these Gulf states that they're going to make into the United States. He says the investments will be massive, extraordinarily good for them, and good for America as well.
Amid all this activity, Jonathan, any direct word or any posturing that would reflect their position from the Iranians?
Yeah, absolutely there is, because while President Trump makes threats, the Iranians do as well. The Revolutionary Guard of Iran threatening to shut down all Middle Eastern energy exports, hinting they could expand the conflict beyond the Strait of Hormuz. The Revolutionary Guard said regional energy exports are either shared by all or denied to all. So the signal there is that their neighbors' oil exports could become legitimate targets in their eyes, that they could go after infrastructure and possibly even shipping routes. Everyone's suddenly talking about the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. That lies between Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. It connects the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden, and it's used by nearly every ship heading to or from the Suez Canal. So that could be a major blow to global trade if Iran's Houthi rebels attempt to close off that.
Fox News Radio's Jonathan Savage will continue to watch the developments in the Middle East. Jonathan, once again, before I let you go, Messi or Harry Kane today?
Messi. Look, I'm not allowed to support England. My kids won't let me. Sorry, to support Argentina. I'm allowed to support Argentina. My kids won't let me. So, yeah, I mean, just fingers crossed. It's incredibly exciting. That's all I'm going to say.
Fox News Radio's Jonathan Savage. Jonathan, thank you so much. We appreciate it, buddy.
Take care.
By the way, producer Ethan's going to join us toward the end of the show for 2 good soccer minutes today. With Spain winning yesterday, Messi versus Kane today. We'll get our unqualified, unofficial, and unpaid soccer correspondent on the horn about 11:45 this morning.
Are you using the timer this morning, or are you going to let him have a little free reign?
Well, you know, he's been doing pretty well. He's been doing pretty good. We'll see if he can keep it in nice and tidy a little bit later on. WVU President Dr. Michael Benson joins us on the other side of the news break. A big announcement yesterday regarding grant funding and energy innovation. This is Talkline on Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. A lot of eyes will be on the State Public Service Commission tonight and beginning tomorrow as it holds a public hearing and then takes testimony on First Energy Mom Power's plan to build.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
I'm meteorologist Joe Anslier with your latest on a Wednesday. Be mindful and weather aware. Take proper precautions for some hot, hazy, humid weather, some Triple H weather out there today. Our northern and eastern panhandle spots, among others, nearby too, including some heat advisories today. The northern panhandle, peak heat index up to 102 for that feel-like temp. For the eastern one, peak heat index up to 105 is listed. We're stacking around moderate heat risks in Charleston areas today. If you're in the red, some major heat risks. So if you're sensitive to heat, or all persons may have to take necessary precautions. Underneath the ridge today, so hot and dry, and then by late Friday night, and through the weekend, I'll watch for multiple chances to likely chances of rain again. They could be heavy or excessive at times, with some chances of thunderstorms too. Charleston had some near average temps yesterday, a little below for the low, a little above that for the high. 89 for the high, average is 86. Be mindful of some of that river valley fog that's out there as well. May affect your morning drive for some up to widespread dense fog. Cities like Chicago, New York City, those are smoke icons. Wildfire smoke dropping in with a northwest wind flow aloft. New York City heating up near 98 today. Washington, D.C. potentially approaching a record high again, 102 for them. Northern areas, highs mid-90s, feels like 102 with your heat advisory today. Lows warm 70s tonight. 90s to near 100. Eastern Panhandle today with the higher heat index too with your advisory. Very warm lows in the 70s. Sunny and hazy skies will linger today with the haze, and tonight too, lows in the 70s. Huntington, you're near 95. Bluefield at 87 today. So hot, hazy, humid through Thursday. Then watching for multiple chances to likely chances of rain. Then maybe heavy at times. The ridge breaks down and some lower temps in the 80s next week.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
Looking for a show that talks about everything? You found it.
Have you forgotten the words you said to me? This guy, this glasses wearing, he's like, man, Dave Allen's been at it all day. No producer. And he says this to me while I'm actively producing Metro News Midday. So just to illustrate what it's like to not have a producer, Coop, why don't you take 5 for a second?
Hotline on Metro News Television.
MetroNews Talkline from the Incoba Insurance Studios. David Morgantown, TJ in Charleston. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Text the show at 304-TALK-304. Over at WVMetroNews.com, the latest edition of the Three Guys Before the Game. The three amigos sat down with NFL insider Mike Florio yesterday. He was in studio talking football, NFL, college football. He's now into writing paranormal books. Check it out. It's a wide-ranging conversation. Three Guys Before the Game. Download it over at WVMetroNews.com. Watch it on the MetroNews TV app, and, of course, listen to it on your preferred streaming devices. Yesterday, big announcement. WVU is on the receiving end of an historic grant, $321 million in public and private funding announced for WVU and its partnership with the University of Pittsburgh and Carnegie Mellon University in the Resilient Energy Technology and Infrastructure Consortium. Joining us on MetroNews Talkline this morning is the president of WVU, Dr. Michael Benson. Dr. Benson, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, Dave and TJ? Good, nice to hear you.
Doing great. Good to hear from you. And with Dr. Benson, also joining us is the NSF RETI Engine CEO. That's a long title. Erienne Olesh. Erienne, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. Glad you could join us, Dr. Benson. We'll start with you. Put into context, give us some idea how significant this grant is and the impact it potentially could have on West Virginia.
Well, first off, thank you for having us today, and I'm joined by an absolute superstar in Dr. Olesh, the CEO of this program, and I'll let her speak about the specifics. But from an institutional and a statewide and region perspective, I can't overstate the significance of this or state how important it is for all of us. This is our largest federal grant in our history. We've been around, as you know, since 1867. In addition to the $160 million from the National Science Foundation that will come over a period of multiple years, Erienne and her team went out and secured $161 million from private, philanthropic, and other support that will augment that. So $321 million that will have an enormous impact for good in our region. Yesterday in D.C., when we had a chance to meet with all the recipients, there are multiple engines, and I wanted to tell you kind of what the groupings are so you have an idea that this is a really broad scope of bringing universities and their partners and industry together to tackle what some might argue are intractable problems. And I would say this, Dave, that universities, particularly research universities, are uniquely positioned in our country to solve these problems and to address them for the benefit of everyone. So the areas are agricultural technology, biotech, energy tech, manufacturing, materials and minerals, and quantum. And so ours, of course, is in the energy tech space, and Erienne can speak to all the specifics, but not only partnering with Pitt and Carnegie Mellon, two really fine research institutions, both members of the Association of American Universities. You know, that's a goal for us, a stretch goal that we aspire to. But they've been just absolutely terrific, their teams and partnering. And this is an evidence, this is a very material manifestation of what can happen when institutions that have like-minded goals and aspirations can work together and benefit Western Pennsylvania and the entire state of West Virginia.
Again, good morning to you both. Thanks for joining us. Dr. Olesh, I want to focus on some of the metrics here that we read about. 21,000 new jobs, 150 startups, $1 billion in regional economic growth. Those are impressive and exciting numbers. Give us a little sense of what that actually looks like. How will that manifest? What will these companies do? Where will they be located? Assuming not all of them, obviously, in West Virginia. It's a regional perspective. But what can we expect to be founded here and sit here in West Virginia directly?
Yeah, great question. Thank you. And those numbers, they are very exciting. We have a just
phenomenal partner network of about 60 partners that we have brought together around this project. And this didn't come together overnight. We've been working on this for about close to 4 years now, and really have galvanized this partnership around solving these really critical and important issues that impact our region, but also the nation at large with regards to energy security and resilience, especially as we look to continuing to support our ever-growing industrial sector. And so if I can just take a few brief moments here and elaborate on the question that you asked, the way we're going to start marching towards these metrics and in accomplishing our goals, we have, I like to think of it as 4 work streams or 4 verticals under this project. One of them is really focused on the research and development. We want to invest in technologies, both existing and emerging over the next few years, technologies that are really being driven by industry in terms of what are they looking for, what technical challenges are they facing that our incredible faculty and academic partners can help solve for. So we'll have a very heavy focus on the research and development efforts, again, related to technology in the energy and grid resilience space. The second is to your question about the startup companies and supporting those 150 and creating them and anchoring them here in this region. We have worked with a number of startups across the region. We know that there are challenges, but also areas for opportunities where we can really help grow and accelerate the success of those startups. And so we'll have some very dedicated program and funding to helping grow our startup ecosystem in this region, and making sure that we are providing the right enabling conditions for those startups to be successful when they start, but also as they grow and scale. I think Form Energy recently moving to this region was a great example and demonstration of the opportunities and excitement this region has to provide to startup companies that are at that phase in their journey. And then workforce, we're really accomplishing this with our incredible community and technical college partners. We have some great programs lined up regarding new worker training, but also reskilling and upskilling of workers who are either looking to pivot to another job within the energy or industrial sector or other types of work. And then the fourth vertical I'll just mention briefly is our community engagement and our policy angle. And this, again, goes back to what I just said a minute ago. We want to make sure we're doing this with our communities. We want to make sure that what we're building will benefit them, but we also want to make sure that we're working across the region to create the right enabling conditions for the success today, but also looking 10 years down the road when we will have hit those milestones that you mentioned.
Talking with Dr. Michael Benson, the WVU president, Dr. Erienne Olesh. She is the RETI Engine CEO. I'm going to pull the curtain back for just a minute. Hey, Dr. Olesh, can you do me a favor and can you reconnect with us? Just go ahead and call the 800 number, 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. And we had a little bit of a fuzzy connection there. We'll see if we can get a little bit better connection. Do you mind doing that for us?
Sure.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you. Live production here on the air. In the meantime, Dr. Benson, this was a competition for this grant. You had members from the National Science Foundation here on campus back in January. What stood out about this program and West Virginia University that ultimately propelled it to one of the recipients for this grant?
Yes, you're right. They had 300 applications submitted. They whittled that down to, I want to say, 15 finalists. Semifinalists. And then from that, finalists. And then from that, they chose the 12. Our visit was originally scheduled for January, you're right. And then we had one of those end-of-day storms that happen sometimes in Morgantown. And so it turns out we were the last of the visits, number 12. As the youngest of 6 kids, my mom would say the last, the best of all the gang. So we really tried to put our best foot forward. And I talked to several of the NSF site visit members that were there yesterday, and they were so complimentary. Obviously, they couldn't say anything during the visit or after. I mean, there's this kind of cloak of silence that one has to adhere to, like every applicant. And so we had no idea. We got some good signals, but when we finally got the news, we were ecstatic. And to a person, the site visit said how impressed they were with, yes, our idea. We're, as they call it in the kind of research grant domain, we're the principal investigator. Our co-PIs, as we mentioned, are Carnegie Mellon and Pitt. The fact that we brought our teams together, and the president at Pitt and the chancellor of Pitt and the president of Carnegie Mellon are great friends, Farnham and Joan, and their teams have been so wonderful to work with. We had a reception last night in Washington, D.C. We thanked our federal delegation. We thanked Governor Morrissey. We thanked our local legislators that were supportive. Roger Hanshaw, by the way, Speaker of the House, was on the call. He was in Charleston during the legislative session and called in and has been a huge proponent from the jump, as has Governor Shapiro in Pennsylvania. This is the western part of PA and all of our state. And we were the only one that came to the table, by the way. You talk about the competitive nature of the process. The only one that came with $161 million of non-federal appropriated funds. So this was philanthropy, corporate partners, other dollars that we brought to the table. So that collective $321 million, nobody else could say they had that amount. So that speaks to not only how good our application was, but how broad an appeal it had to those partners that were willing to join.
Dr. Michael Benson, WVU President. We've got Dr. Olesh back. Erienne, good morning once again. Are you there now?
Yeah, good morning.
Much better. Much better. Appreciate it. And just if you could expand on the collaborative nature of this program, bringing 3 major universities together, a couple of states here, that's no easy task.
It's not. It certainly is not, but we have had such a phenomenal group of partners. And I think, what has made, I'm not going to say that this work has been easy. We certainly have faced our challenges, and I'm sure there are more to come for us. But what has enabled our success is we, as partners, have really galvanized around this idea that we have an incredibly deep history that we are all very proud of in this region, with our energy legacy and our industrial manufacturing legacy and the hub that has really been born out of this region. But we don't want it to just be history. We want that to also be our future. But we know for that to be successful, we need to row all boats in the same direction. That's going to take partnership from our academic institutions and our industrial partners, our capital network, our workforce partners, as well as our state governments. And so, again, I think this idea that we were all rallying around the same vision and the same dream for what we could help do and the course we could help ensure this region stays on is what enabled this partnership to really stick through it over the last couple of years.
There's always some naysayers among us. Those listening now might be remembering the hydrogen hub, the ARC2 hub. And look, it's had some difficulties, had some headwinds, hasn't manifested the way I think many thought. Dr. Benson, I'll start with you. What would you say to those who are listening that may remember that incident and say, here we go again, here's another dream that will never happen? What can be the difference maker this time, and how will WVU and its partners ensure that this actually comes to fruition?
Well, I don't know many of the specifics of the example you used. Maybe Erienne does. I do know that when you talk about energy and how much we produce in this particular part of the country, that's something that we can all relate to. So this has nothing to do with energy production. It has everything to do with grid productivity and transmission and efficiencies. And that is something that every single day impacts us. So you think about the kind of persistent challenges we have that are kind of endemic to our region. This is an example of something that is tangible, that is evidentiary-based, that you can say, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it, and this is how it's going to impact lives, and it's going to produce results. I will tell you this, and Erienne can back me up. We have, I think, our first kind of visit in a few months, and then a really kind of soup-to-nuts visit and examination of how we're doing in 18 months' time. So they're going to keep very close tabs on, are we producing what we said we were going to do? And I have every confidence that we can do it, because we've worked so hard to prepare this application, and it's been rewarded with this grant. And we're not going to blow it. I can promise you, we were prepared, and we're going to do exactly what we say we're going to do.
Anything to add, Dr. Olesh?
I think I would just add in some sentiments that President Benson and I were fortunate to hear yesterday when we attended the announcement event at the Senate building in D.C. And we heard from the Chief Technology Officer, Ethan Klein, of the White House, as well as the Acting Director of the National Science Foundation, Brian Stone. And both of them reiterated this has been a bipartisan program. This program has so much support coming out of the federal government. And, obviously, again, we will certainly face challenges with this program, but I think the longevity of this program, it started under the Biden administration. It has carried through and has continued to deliver funding and results now under the Trump administration. And so I think if we look forward, we certainly have a phenomenal team. To President Benson's point, we will succeed in this, but I think it also it's very strongly enabled and backboned by the fact that there is so much federal support that has really galvanized around this work and this effort.
Dr. Erienne Olesh and Dr. Michael Benson, WVU president. Oh, by the way, Dr. Benson, do you know what today is?
Yeah, I think, Dave, the little birdie told me today is my 1-year anniversary. So what a way to cap off my first year. It's been terrific.
That's not a bad anniversary present then.
I'll take it. And I can't take much credit at all, if any. This was all started long before I got here, but to be here for the culmination and to help get across the finish line, again, it's credit to Erienne and her team and to the support from our entire community. So thank you for mentioning that, but all the credit goes to everybody else.
Well, congratulations on the grant. We look forward to seeing this continue to grow and expand and impact West Virginia and the entire region. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Let's
go. Dr. Michael Benson, Dr. Erienne Olesh. We'll take a break. Back in a moment. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZMM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZMM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Metro News this morning. The biggest stories from around.
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discovered tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniel's.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at wvhtf.org.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot is $498 million. Mega Millions jackpot is $672 million. So go ahead, play today. Went long with Dr. Benson. Take another break. We'll get to a couple of texts. Tell you what's coming up in hour number 2. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Located in the heart of West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridgeport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
The WVU Cancer Institute is transforming cancer care in West Virginia and beyond. The state's top doctors deliver compassionate care and treatment using leading-edge technology and innovative research for patients facing colorectal cancer. From screening and early detection to advanced treatment and survivorship support, we're here for you every step of the way. Call 855-WVU-CARE.
Are you ready to reach the finish line of retirement? At the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group, we provide comprehensive guidance for retirement planning in West Virginia. With years of experience, we'll draft a plan tailored for your unique goals. Whether you're just starting or nearing retirement, we make the process as simple as possible, easy, and stress-free. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to set up a complimentary consultation and get started on your plan today. Let's work toward your dream retirement together.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Wake up.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out.
Coming up, second hour, MetroNews Talkline. Jenny McArdle is going to join us, Director of Programming with Helsing, investing $50 million over into the Eastern Panhandle. We're going to talk to her coming up second hour. Also, Mike Nolting, WAJR News, host of Talk of the Town on our MetroNews affiliate in Morgantown. I misspoke earlier. Harrison County Commission will actually meet later this afternoon, not this morning, to decide the contested House of Delegates race involving incumbent Laura Kimball and challenger Tim McNeely. We'll get an update from Mike coming up second hour as well. Your text to welcome 304-TALK, 304-800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. You know, yesterday we talked about social media, the toxic environment, and we're eventually going to get into, if not today, probably tomorrow, flock cameras and artificial intelligence and the impact on surveillance and fighting crime. But there are also gems on social media, TJ.
What do you got?
I was watching earlier this morning as I swear, scrolling through the social medias looking for, links and stories and content.
Sure.
A video of Bigfoot interviewing the bison that flipped the grandfather up in the air there in Yellowstone, getting his side of the story of what went wrong. See, that's what social media and AI is for. Bigfoot interviewing a buffalo.
How is that not the lead story in every outlet in America today?
See, it doesn't all have to be toxic disagreement and arguments and, nastiness. It can be Bigfoot interviewing a bison. Nothing wrong with that. And we would not have that if not for social media.
American ingenuity, innovation at its finest.
This is Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
I'm meteorologist Joe Anslier with your latest on a Wednesday. Be mindful and weather aware. Take proper precautions for some hot, hazy, humid weather, some Triple H weather out there today. Our northern and eastern panhandle spots, among others, nearby too, including some heat advisories today. The northern panhandle, peak heat index up to 102 for that feel-like temp. For the eastern one, peak heat index up to 105 is listed. We're stacking around moderate heat risks in Charleston areas today. If you're in the red, some major heat risks. So if you're sensitive to heat, or all persons may have to take necessary precautions. Underneath the ridge today, so hot and dry. And then by late Friday night, and through the weekend, I'll watch for multiple likely chances of rain again. They could be heavy or excessive at times, with some chances of thunderstorms too. Charleston had some near average temps yesterday, a little below for the low, a little above that for the high. 89 for the high, average is 86. Be mindful of some of that river valley fog that's out there as well. May affect your morning drive for some up to widespread dense fog. Cities like Chicago, New York City, those are smoke icons. Wildfire smoke dropping in with a northwest wind flow aloft. New York City heating up near 98 today. Washington, D.C. potentially approaching a record high again, 102 for them. Northern areas, highs mid-90s. Feels like 102 with your heat advisory today. Lows warm 70s tonight. 90s to near 100. Eastern Panhandle today with the higher heat index too with your advisory. Very warm lows in the 70s. Sunny and hazy skies will linger today with the haze, and tonight too, lows in the 70s. Huntington, you're near 95, Bluefield at 87 today. So hot, hazy, humid through Thursday, then watching for multiple likely chances of rain that may be heavy at times. The ridge breaks down and some lower temps in the 80s next week.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Second hour of MetroNews Talkline, back in the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave in Morgantown, TJ in Charleston. Gang's all here. Intern Mila is handling the video stream this morning. Jake supervising. Ethan is our audio producer. 800-765-TALK is the phone number, 800-765-8255. You can text the show, 304-TALK-304. Mike Nolting will join us from the WAJR newsroom coming up 11:30 this morning. The latest on the still contested race, the lone contested race from the primary in May. That is in Harrison County for the House of Delegates. We'll get the latest on what's happening there. And we'll get 2 good soccer minutes from producer Ethan. Spain defeating France yesterday in the World Cup. England and Argentina meeting up in the other semifinal today. Our unqualified, unofficial, and unpaid World Cup correspondent, producer Ethan, will have 2 good soccer minutes coming up later on this hour. Say good morning once again to our great radio affiliates in and around the state of West Virginia. Also, if you're watching it on the Metro News TV app, Facebook Live, or YouTube, we appreciate that. Don't forget, download the app to your smart TV or mobile device so you can watch this show and all of the other Metro News programming available. Say good morning once again, TJ Meadows down in Charleston. Morning, TJ.
Good morning. I have to talk with Ethan. I have to educate this young man on how to do a better job of negotiating something for himself. I mean, unqualified, unpaid, okay, fine, but unpaid, I'm a capitalist, man. I don't know how I feel about that, but well, get with this young man, you know?
You know, it was his first negotiation. Maybe next World Cup, we'll throw a couple of bucks his way.
Okay, all right.
Or at least a Wendy's gift card or something. All right, Ethan coming up a little bit later this hour. Earlier this week, Governor Morrissey was at Blue Ridge Community and Technical College in the Eastern Panhandle in Berkeley County announcing an investment into Berkeley County. Helsing announcing an initial $50 million investment to set up operations there. Helsing is a leading European defense technology company headquartered in Germany that specializes in artificial intelligence and autonomous military systems. Joining us this morning is the Director of Programming with Helsing, Jenny McArdle. Jenny, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. So what made Berkeley County, West Virginia, an attractive place to set up operations?
Well, we ran a nationwide search to figure out where we should house our first production facility, and there are a range of reasons why West Virginia continuously rose to the top. Obviously, the manufacturing heritage within West Virginia mattered to us. The speed of business that Governor Morrissey is trying to push right now was fundamentally appealing to us. We're a company that moves incredibly fast. We actually started the process to decide where to home manufacturing in early April. So this entire process was incredibly quick. So that clearly appealed to us. Berkeley County in particular, we really liked the facilities that were available. The people were incredibly welcoming. And we just felt that between the Blue Ridge Community and Technical College and access to WVU, that we would have the talent that we needed to be able to create these cutting edge capabilities. So it became a no-brainer.
Jenny, welcome to West Virginia. Thank you for your investment in the state. Your primary product, the HX2 A1-enabled strike drone. That sounds incredibly impressive to me. Help me understand the timeline here. When can we actually expect for the first one to roll off the line, so to speak, in Berkeley County? How quick will you move when it comes to actual production?
Yeah, great question. The plan is to have an initial operating capability in November of this year. So we're hoping to break ground in early August. We're actually going to get bids from general contractors at the end of this month. So it just shows how quickly we want to flip things around. We expect to hit full rate production within a year after our initial operating capabilities. So at full rate production, we'll be able to produce 2,000 strike drones per month. That's more than any like capability presently being produced in the U.S. today. So that means that Berkeley County will very much become a center of gravity for strike drones that are optimized for armored targets and ship-to-shore targets.
Have these drones been used already in combat? Where have they been proven?
In Ukraine, we've been working with Ukrainians since 2022, but we've had our strike drone deployed with Ukrainians since early 2024. We've actually worked hand in glove with Ukrainians to develop this. We have our 4 deployed engineers at the front line alongside Ukrainians, where we're learning from Russian tactics, techniques, and procedures every single day. And we're incorporating that into our software, our targeting algorithms, and also our hardware. So our hardware as well is reflective of the way the battle space is changing. And beyond working with Ukrainians, we have also participated in a recent U.S. Army exercise in Lithuania. And so the Army has had their hands on it too. And they've identified it as a capability that fills some critical gaps for them as well.
Is there a firm commitment from the U.S. Army or any other branch of the military to buy your product? What will roll off the line there in Berkeley County?
We expect the U.S. military to be procuring our product. We are currently in active negotiations, and I can't comment on the status of those negotiations, but I feel very confident that the U.S. military will be very happy with the capabilities that are being developed in Berkeley County.
Jenny McArdle is joining us, Director of Programming with Helsing, announcing this week an initial $50 million investment to set up operations in Berkeley County. Let's talk about jobs. We're always fighting this idea in West Virginia that to get a good job or to put high-end skills to use, that you got to leave the state. What type of employee, what type of skills are you looking for in your workforce?
So we'll need a diversity of talent to support our manufacturing facility in Berkeley County. Everything from people working the assembly line and the manufacturing line on the floor, all the way up to people overseeing production, the production process. We very much see our manufacturing process as a product. It's one of the things that differentiates us. Many companies can't actually hit those scale numbers that I was just talking about. So we're constantly looking for people that can iterate on our software when it comes to manufacturing and iterate on that hardware process itself. So folks that can oversee production, electrical engineers, software engineers, folks in the robotics space. So there's just a range of different roles that require a range of different profiles. And also we're going to need people that can do a lot of the back end office work. So HR, people, talent, things like that. So if you're interested in Helsing, definitely reach out to our business because we are looking for a lot of different people. And we are very, very keen to work with the local community.
Jenny, there's always a debate here in West Virginia in terms of how business friendly we really are, how quick we are, because frankly, from my perspective, we've been sluggish in the past. I hope we're getting better, but we have not been able to move at the speed of business. So as you can, and I know there may be things you can't talk about, but give us a sense of just how quick we were. I mean, were we ready to say, yes, we have this site. Yes, we have the electricity, the other utilities that we need. Yes, we can bring in the community college. We can work through these variables. Just compared to other states, I mean, be brutally honest here because we need to get better. How did we do in working with you all? Did you come to us? Did we come to you? How did it emerge?
So obviously we started the search internally before reaching out to states, and we were looking across a range of different indicators. So infrastructure, logistics, talent, various things like that. And West Virginia was one of the states that came up among others. So like Texas was one, Arkansas was one, Oklahoma was another. That's a good drone state. And so, of course, we then started diving in to see what would actually be the right fit. The team in West Virginia was incredible. We wanted to move incredibly fast. I wanted to make a decision within a month. And we were able to make a decision within a month with the West Virginia Economic and Development Council. They were constantly on their toes, constantly meeting with us, making sure we had access to the right resources to make the right decisions, introducing us to local contractors, electricians. I mean, honestly, everything like that. And then honestly, what sealed the deal was Governor Morrissey called me at the end of the process, and he assured me that we would meet our IOC date and that the state would reach in to make sure that the state would move at the pace of business that we required. And I think when you have politicians that are willing to reach in like that and make sure that businesses can operate at speed. And for us, I mean, what I critically care about is I want to develop capabilities that get into the hands of our warfighters in a way that meets their needs, because that's how we protect national security. And so the fact that Governor Morrissey is willing to reach in to make sure that we can develop these capabilities, get them into the hands of U.S. military operators as quickly as they need, that really does matter.
Talking to Jenny McArdle, Director of Programming with Helsing. As far as looking long-term, are we just still at the very beginning stages of the use of drones and AI technology as far as it comes to national defense?
Oh, that's a great question. I think Ukraine has been this really interesting pivot point where we're seeing them deployed in ways where it's fundamentally changing the character by which people are fighting. How the U.S. military is going to deploy them and use them fundamentally depends on how we change doctrine, how we change our training apparatus, how we change the way that we organizationally fight. And I think we are just beginning to see the beginnings of that. So I think there's a lot that's going to happen. There's a lot that needs to happen from a procurement standpoint, but I do think there are a lot of interesting lessons learned that we can pull from Ukraine, that we can pull from what we're seeing right now with Iran. And so as we pull on those lessons and we figure out how we want to organizationally innovate, how we want to operationally innovate, that will actually define, I think, the future of war.
It's never too early. Never too early to start talking about growth. I see that beautiful underwater drone that's behind you. If you're watching on MetroNews Television, that's awesome. Talk to me about that, though. If we do well here, is there the opportunity for growth in Berkeley County for another line, or what comes next that Helsing wants to offer into this space? Talk about that possibility.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential. So I guess for everyone's awareness, Helsing just closed a $1.2 billion round on Monday. We're valued at over $18 billion. The U.S. is the largest defense market in the world. We are entering the U.S. market focused on our HX-2 strike drone, which is what we plan to produce in Berkeley County. But Helsing has a range of capabilities that cut across domains. So, as you said, TJ, we have a subsurface capability that is used for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance purposes. It can better identify and localize adversarial surface and subsurface threats. We have a longer range drone that can act as a loyal wingman alongside pilots. We have electronic warfare capabilities. We've got autonomous ground vehicles. We have a range of different capabilities that can be provided to the U.S. military. So as we develop in the U.S., as we develop in Berkeley County, there's always the opportunity for us to pull over these additional autonomous capabilities, iterate on it, identify an indigenous U.S. supply chain, do indigenous development, and really produce something that's unique to the warfighter while drawing on the goodness of what we've developed overseas.
Jenny McArdle, Director of Programming with Helsing, announcing a $50 million initial investment in Berkeley County to set up operations in the Eastern Panhandle. Jenny, welcome to West Virginia. We appreciate you taking some time and look forward to seeing this operation develop.
Thank you. Very, very excited to be in West Virginia.
Well, we appreciate you being here. 800-765-TALK, the phone number, 304-TALK, 304, the text line. Take a break. Back in a moment. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. High-speed fiber internet is probably at your front door, and now's the time to connect. Your tax dollars helped expand broadband access across West Virginia, and CityNet makes it real. More rural communities in West Virginia can finally get the high-speed internet they deserve. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can trust. So whether you're streaming, working, gaming, or running your business, CityNet delivers the speed and reliability you need. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now, you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cava GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
They had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure
we really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
CityNet is West Virginia's local internet provider. High-speed, reliable fiber internet is probably right at your front door. Now is the perfect time to connect. No contract, free installation, free equipment, and local customer support you can trust. Fast, reliable fiber internet built for everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects. If you've not heard of flock cameras, well, you probably will. Many of you already have. Residents around the state have been talking about them. In Monongalia County, there have been concerned citizens showing up at county commission meetings who have protested the purchase of flock cameras, the automatic license plate reader cameras, as they're known. In Monongalia County, Bluefield, Huntington drew a huge crowd this week when Huntington City Council voted 6-4 to approve the purchase and subscription with Flock for dozens of cameras around the city. And TJ, this morning over at WVMetroNews.com, you've got a commentary taking a look at the use of the cameras and the Fourth Amendment. Go on.
So I think really what is fundamental here, and it's not just with flock cameras, it's other technologies as well, but the Fourth Amendment protects us from unreasonable search and seizure. It's a staple of American democracy. Be secure in your person, your home, your papers. And look, a reading of that one would suggest and say, well, what's a camera got to do with the Fourth Amendment? Well, it's really not just the camera. It's the way all of these systems from Flock work together, and the data that it collects and catalogs, and the idea that indiscriminately someone can be tracked without a warrant. And this has come before the court. It's actually come before the Supreme Court. There's a case that was just settled known as Chattery, where you had an individual who was suspected of a crime, and without a warrant, various Google data that was submitted via the platform on this person's phone was used to track them and place them in and around the scene of the crime. And again, all of that data was procured without a warrant and was deemed by the court to indeed constitute a search under the Fourth Amendment. So the court's not saying it's illegal for the police to use these materials. What the court is saying is you got to have a warrant. You got to have probable cause. The same thing that would validate a search as reasonable as is protected under the Fourth Amendment. People are raising the same question when it comes to flock cameras. Now, I don't think there's any denying, Dave, these cameras and these systems integrated, because you're talking about audio detection, having detection throughout the city that can hear a gunfire, having drones. I don't think anyone would argue that this equipment can help solve crimes, can help locate stolen vehicles, missing people. That's fine. The collection of the data and using that before anyone is suspected of a crime. Most times in this country, before you can get a warrant or probable cause to arrest someone, you have to be able to articulate a reasonable suspicion that that person has committed or is about to commit a crime. This kind of puts the cart before the horse here and takes it the other way around. And anytime the Bill of Rights butts up against the surveillance state, I think we need to be very, very careful about the precedent that we're setting. Most folks would say, who cares, TJ? You can go out and take pictures of anything you want. Absolutely. I can go walk down a public street, take pictures of people in public. There is no expectation of privacy. But when all of this comes together and starts to be used in a way that is subject to action without a warrant, without probable cause, I think it's a reason to start asking questions, and I think that's what we need to do.
You're exactly right. We should always be asking questions about this. And I don't know where I am on this issue yet because of the questions you have raised. We've seen incidents around the country where the information was used improperly, either, quite frankly, lazy police work, just using AI, not actually confirming or trying to shore up the information. But we've also seen success stories where these cameras have caught the license plates of people who have abducted children, stolen vehicles, et cetera, et cetera. We are moving so quickly, and I think I got two thoughts here. One, we're moving quickly, TJ, with AI. This is the Industrial Revolution had nothing on this. I mean, we are moving at light speed, and our heads are spinning, number one. Number two, we have lost all trust in every institution across the board, whether it is government, the healthcare industry. If you want to build a restaurant, TJ, and open up a restaurant in your neighborhood, there would probably be at least half a dozen people protesting it for some reason or another because you're going to dump grease in the creek behind the house or something. We've lost such institutional trust, and we know how important our personal data is. I just don't think we trust anybody with any of it.
Yeah.
And that is leading, and that is helping foster a lot of this, and it's manifesting in these protests.
Let me quickly say one more thing. The feedback I've gotten is, well, you carry one of these, TJ. I'm holding up my Apple phone, iPhone. Here's the difference. This is voluntary, folks. I choose to carry one of these. I choose to have apps. I choose to allow those apps to have my information. There's no choice here involved in these flock systems. That is the big difference, and that is what I think people need to be talking about in this debate.
Well, the government having it and having the ability to revoke your freedom is a lot different than Meta selling it so they can market some cars to you, right?
Yep.
This is Talkline on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia. It is 11:30 and time for a news update. Let's check in with the Metro News Radio Network, find out what's happening across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Selango Law. Get results, not excuses.
I'm meteorologist Joe Anslier with your latest on a Wednesday. Be mindful and weather aware. Take proper precautions for some hot, hazy, humid weather, some Triple H weather out there today. Our northern and eastern panhandle spots, among others, nearby too, including some heat advisories today. The northern panhandle, peak heat index up to 102 for that feel-like temp. For the eastern one, peak heat index up to 105 is listed. We're stacking around moderate heat risks in Charleston areas today. If you're in the red, some major heat risks. So if you're sensitive to heat, or all persons may have to take necessary precautions. Underneath the ridge today, so hot and dry. And then by late Friday night, and through the weekend, I'll watch for multiple likely chances of rain again. They could be heavy or excessive at times, with some chances of thunderstorms too. Charleston had some near average temps yesterday, a little below for the low, a little above for the high. 89 for the high, average was 86. Be mindful of some of that River Valley fog that's out there as well. May affect your morning drive for some up to widespread dense fog. Cities like Chicago and New York City, those are smoke icons. Wildfire smoke dropping in with a northwest wind flow aloft. New York City heating up near 98 today. Washington, D.C. potentially approaching a record high again, 102 for them. Northern areas, highs mid-90s, feels like 102 with your heat advisory today. Lows warm 70s tonight. 90s to near 100. Eastern Panhandle today with the higher heat index too with your advisory. Very warm lows in the 70s. Sunny and hazy skies will linger today with the haze, and tonight too, lows in the 70s. Huntington, you're near 95. Bluefield at 87 today. So hot, hazy, humid through Thursday. Then watching for multiple likely chances of rain. Then maybe heavy at times. The ridge breaks down and some lower temps in the 80s next week.
This is Ben.
I know he's embarrassed his dad ruins every game like this. I mean, I would be too.
Someone needs to tell him this isn't about him.
Yeah, stop trying to coach from the stands and just cheer.
That's what Liam wants.
That's what we all want.
Be your student's biggest fan, not their biggest critic. This message presented by the WVSSAC and the West Virginia Athletic Directors Association.
A Barber County man is hospitalized after an injury on the job in Marshall County. Marshall County emergency officials say the man was installing fiber wire, working in a bucket truck, and came in contact with a high-voltage electrical line, suffering a severe shock. He was flown to Ruby Memorial Hospital Tuesday afternoon. His condition today is unknown. The first canine officer for the town of Whitehall's police department has died. The city announced on social media that Kobe died on Monday. He'd been retired since 2019. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Text line is 304-TALK, 304. Phone number is 800-765-TALK. We have reached out to the city of Huntington, reached out for a couple of members of city council, the police chief. I believe Dave Allen has reached out for Mayor Patrick Farrell as well. Trying to get some more information on how the system is going to be used, what's going to be used. In Monongalia County, for instance, TJ, talking about the flock cameras, these have been controversial. Not controversial when the commission approved the sale, mind you. That happened months ago. It's just now people are talking about it. The cameras only look at license plates. They don't have facial recognition. They can't zoom in, to see what's, if you're on your cell phone in the car, and only register license plates that have active warrants out or, an Amber Alert out, for instance. So says the sheriff. So limited use. I know you can expand that based on what kind of subscriptions you get, but trying to get some more information, how the tool is used. I don't know if that will help quell some of the people's concerns or not, but that's a nuanced part of that conversation of how that AI tool is going to be used.
Yeah, and I think another part of that, Dave, is, look, if you're viewing this in real time, as surveillance cameras have done and been around for a long time, I don't think there's a constitutional issue. I think the issue is aggregating all of this data and building a profile on someone, whether you have probable cause or suspicion of a crime or a warrant. And so that's what the court, I think, is really going to have to answer in a lot of these cases. And, oh, by the way, there's a flock case that's in the Fourth Circuit right now, which includes West Virginia, Schmidt versus Norfolk, that's going to end up at the Supreme Court, too. And we'll see what happens. Breaking news, you and I haven't talked. That's dangerous. But Tia Rumbaugh, who is a city councilwoman, I should say, in Huntington, got back to me right after the program started, and I think we'll be able to have her on tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And then I do have an email that just came in, I believe, from the city communications director. So, yes, working on it. Just getting everybody's schedules is always a little tough. So,
production going on during the show. Speaking of production, producer Ethan will join us a couple of minutes from now. 2 Good Soccer Minutes with Ethan as the World Cup semifinals conclude today. England versus Argentina. Harry Kane versus Messi. Speaking of Messi, the House of Delegates District 71 primary race, if you will recall, on election night, it was very, very close. It was 6 votes the difference between challenger Tim McNeely and incumbent Laura Kimball for the GOP nomination. There was a recount. McNeely was affirmed as the winner. That recount has been challenged. Mike Nolting from WAJR News, host of Talk of the Town on MetroNews affiliate WAJR, has been following this each step of the way, and he joins us from the newsroom this morning. Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
So what's the latest? That was the Cliff Notes version of how we got here to today. What are we expecting today from the Harrison County Commission?
Today at 3 o'clock, Harrison County commissioners are expected to make a decision. Now, when they do make this decision, it might not be the final step in the process. Commissioners could deny this election contest, in which incumbent delegate Laura Kimball would then have the opportunity to then appeal that decision to circuit court. The other decision that the commission could make, which would certainly be a kind of a blockbuster, would be to have another election for those 14 precincts in District 71.
When would they do that, Mike? During the general, or how would that work?
They do that pretty quick, TJ, because when you take a look at where we're at in terms of early voting.
Republican.
So, Mike, explain the argument that Laura Kimball and her husband, Jeffrey Kimball, is her attorney representing her in this case. What is the arguments that they are making that this election should be re-examined and there should be a revote?
When I spoke to Jeff Kimball, he told me that this was actually weeks after it was after the election. They learned of the problems that happened down in Fayette County that mirrored what they said was happening in Harrison County, which was independents registering as a Republican, voting in the Republican primary, and then switching their registration back to independent. Of course, in Fayette County, that case was a little bit more a little bit bigger than what it was in Harrison County. Here we're talking about 6 votes, and the investigation or the evidence that was presented to commissioners showed that there may have been as many as 18 people that illegally got into that closed Republican primary and cast a ballot. But nevertheless, they say that what those voters did, number one, is completely legal and didn't have an effect on that race.
Yeah, I'm trying to better understand here. A lot of people did that, and there's nothing to prevent that. As long as you switch your party affiliation before the deadline, you can do so. There's no litmus test after that. Whether or not you're a real Republican, you go vote. Day after you vote, you switch it back.
And there's a 21-day deadline in order to be able to do that. You're exactly right. And I brought the question up. I had Secretary of State Chris Warner on the program today, and I asked him, I said, when I look at this, I'm not a lawyer, but if I register as a Republican, then vote in the Republican primary and then quickly re-register as an independent, I don't feel like I've really broken any laws or done anything wrong. And technically, I was a Republican when I cast that ballot. I wasn't an independent again until after that ballot was counted.
I came to the same conclusion, Mike. TJ, Mike and I were having this conversation this morning. So long as you were registered on time and you were a Republican on Tuesday, May 4th? Doesn't matter what you are on May 5th, right? I mean, what am I missing here?
That's your business, what you are on May 5th or 4th.
And look, if you hadn't registered by the deadline, look, these county clerks and their staff, TJ, they do an amazing job.
Yeah,
they do an
absolutely.
amazing job. You would not have been on the roll. There would have been a provisional ballot. It would not have counted. So I don't understand the crux of the argument being, well, they weren't real Republicans. Sorry, that's the way it goes.
And I think at this point we really have to call out Harrison County Clerk John Spires, because John Spires not only ran a very, very good election on primary election night, but he did a great job in canvassing and then representing the county in this trial process through the contest of the election. His numbers have, I hate to use the word, but his numbers have been bulletproof.
I mean, look, Laura Kimball is a very pleasant lady. I think I've talked to her twice, Dave, when we've been at the Capitol. Very pleasant lady to speak with, good interaction. Wish her nothing but the best. With that said, if you want to be mad at anybody, be mad at the state Republican Party who decided to close it and open all this mess in the first place, right? You do crazy things. Sometimes you get bad results. And then, not for nothing, but if we'd had a flock system going in Harrison County, we could have determined when they went to the courthouse and when they didn't and when they changed and all those things.
TJ, don't tell me that you've been infected with the flock virus.
I wrote about it today, man. I honestly, I hadn't followed it much until the issue broke loose in Huntington, but I figured, oh, wait a minute. I got some thoughts about this.
Hey, Mike, let me throw you a little curveball here, but you've been following this in Monongalia County. I referred to it there in the last segment. These cameras are up in Monongalia County, but they've been here for a couple of months, right?
They have. They've actually, this is the first year of operation for them. And these cameras are license plate readers. They're only active in the event of a silver alert, an amber alert. Say maybe there's a warrant out for your arrest and the information about your car is included in that warrant. Maybe there was a hit and run that you were involved in, and that's how they got an image of your car, and that's why they're looking for you. The other thing that I thought was very, very interesting when I looked at some national numbers, nearly 50% of these contacts have to do with theft and burglary. And if you're one of those people that had some of your stuff taken, you know, what a blessing it would be to have a flock camera looking over your personal property.
It's a fair point. Fair point. What's been the reaction of Monongalia County, by the way?
Fury.
Shocking.
For the most part. However, I will say that 2 weeks ago was really the peak, and that's when about 8 to 9 people came to the county commission meeting and spoke against the cameras. That number was down to 1 or 2 in the meeting last week, and then this week at the meeting there was one person bringing up, basically the same arguments. And, I got to say, the arguments hold water, because a lot of this has to do with the confidence that we have in the officials that are working with the data.
It sounds to me from listening to you, those uses are real time. Do you know if Mon County or whoever is responsible for these things, one, are they saving the data? Two, how long are they saving it? And three, are they sharing it nationwide in the Flock system? Because that seems to be what really is the crux of the concern in Huntington.
Okay, last first, not sure if it's shared within the national system. 30 days is the time frame that I'm told that this data is maintained. And then what was the first one? Got a lot going on, TJ.
Yeah, no, I know I do. No, you answered the question, because I think that's really the part, at least that, if I'm honest, that concerns me is I'm driving down the street. I'm Joe Blow citizen, just doing my thing, not committed a crime. And then, I'm being looked at 6 months from now, 2 months from now, whatever it may be. And my data is available and I'm being looked at without suspicion of a crime. The real-time operations that you're talking about, if there's a silver alert or something has happened, I think that is much less intrusive than an aggregation of data that then, in my humble opinion, I think you ought to have a warrant if you want to be able to look at that.
I'll give you a real-time example here. Here in Monongalia County, there was a double murder over in Ohio. 3 suspects in a vehicle escaped that scene, drove into Mon County, and with that information from the Flock camera, deputies with the Sheriff's Department were able to make that arrest and basically save the people in Ohio a lot of running around.
Mm-hmm.
We'll continue to follow all that. What time's Harrison County Commission meeting today?
3 o'clock.
All right, we'll see what happens there later this afternoon. Mike Nolting in the WAJR newsroom will be all over it. Mike, always appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much.
Hey, take care, guys.
You as well. 304-TALK-304. That's the text line, 800-765-TALK, the phone number. We'll get 2 good soccer minutes with producer Ethan as the World Cup semifinals continue. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
West Virginia's grid is old, overloaded, and falling behind. That means fewer jobs, less investment, and a future we can't afford to risk. Valley Link and Marl are the fix. Modern transmission lines that strengthen reliability, attract manufacturing, and put West Virginians to work. Investment here, jobs here, a more reliable, stronger grid right here. Learn more at powerwvnow.org. Paid for by West Virginians for reliable and affordable energy.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Of course, the LA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better. And I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Couple of texts. We'll get to producer Ethan, 304 Talk 304. Ask the city council from Huntington what types of kickbacks they're getting from the contract block. Somebody's getting something because no one in the right mind would want this unless there was incentive involved. See my earlier comments about we have lost all trust in all institutions. Now, look, the police chief for Huntington made some very compelling arguments. Sheriff Todd Forbes in Montague County has made some very compelling arguments for the flock cameras. There are certainly arguments for it. I think you've hit the nail on the head here in this conversation, TJ. It's the data. How is it being stored? How is it being used? Who has access to it? That is what has people concerned because, look, it's 2026. Our data, our personal data is kind of like currency in its way. It's very valuable.
Look, Mike made some good points talking about that issue from Ohio, but as I wrote in a piece today, the Fourth Amendment was not written for moments when government power is unpopular or obviously abusive. It was written to restrain government when officials believe their actions are reasonable, helpful, necessary. The right of the individual to be secure in their person. And again, yes, we all carry an iPhone or some kind of device. We're linked in with Google. We have apps. The difference that I think remains fundamental in what Flock is doing and how these cities are using it versus carrying one of these devices, this is voluntary. I agree to give my data to Google. I didn't agree to allow Flock to watch me, to allow the city to watch me. And as you rightly said, there is a big difference between an agreement between two parties versus the government watching me without my consent.
Well, yes, I'll throw a but in there.
Okay.
You can put officers out on the corner, right?
Yes.
And they could watch for a red F-150 with license plate, whatever.
Yep.
So can these cameras. Where I get a little itchy, again, it's the network of information. Those cops could sit right there. They could watch that, but they can't watch it 2 miles down the road. They can't watch it in Ohio. You see what I'm saying? It's that now you've the network that's being created, how that information is stored, how that information is shared is where I think we start to get the questions of where you come into the Fourth Amendment. Because, hey, man, like you said, out on the roads, you don't have an expectation of privacy.
No.
But how that data, again, storing the data, sharing the data, who's using it, how is the tool being used? Those are going to be questions. Look, we're going to have to grapple with all these questions with all the AI advancement going forward.
Oh, absolutely. Here's what I worry about, too, and tell me if I'm being paranoid, whatever. Tell me if I'm being off the rail. Subject to paranoia. People who are known to law enforcement, there are bad people. Bad people. And I'm not taking up for bad people. But people who are known to law enforcement that come up, the temptation to use a system like this, to track them, to keep an eye on them, because we know they do a lot. You need a warrant for that, folks. I'm not taking up for the bad guy, but you need a warrant. If you're going to go into their house, if you're going to look at their papers, if you're going to frisk them on the street, you need probable cause. You need a warrant to do these things. The temptation to be able to monitor people like that with this kind of a system without a warrant, that's why we need definitively answered the question of whether or not this thing constitutes a search. I think it probably does.
The temptation to believe the AI cannot make a mistake, right?
Oh, that too. Like the ghosts in the machine or whatever.
The ghost in the machine or your vehicle happens to... I want to get to Ethan here. I'll give you an example. When there was a series of murders in Montague County one day, the guy was driving a black Ford F-150. How many of those do you think are out there on the road?
Oh, geez.
In fact, the guy we work with, put his car in the garage that day because he almost to a T had the description. What if you get pulled over? Or what if the camera flags your truck because you drive a black, it fits the description? And you see what I'm saying?
I see exactly what you're saying.
These are the things we want to avoid. These are the things we want to avoid. Well, all right, we'll get more deeply into this conversation as the week unfolds, for certain. Let's get Ethan, producer Ethan, 2 Good Soccer Minutes. We got the timer ready, Jake. Mila's over there as well. We got the timer ready. Okay, Ethan, 2 Good Soccer Minutes, semifinals. England, Argentina, Harry Kane, and Messi. Go.
All right. Thank you, Dave. So we had one game yesterday where Spain defeated France by the score of 2-0. The other game is at 3 p.m. today between England and Argentina. So how did these two teams get here? Well, England took the hard journey of defeating the host in Estadio Azteca, defeating El Tricolor by a score of 3-2. And then the Three Lions faced Norway, who had a ton of momentum after beating Brazil going into the match. And despite Norway getting the first goal, Jude Bellingham scored 2 goals, 1 in extra time to advance England to the semifinals. Argentina haven't made it easy on themselves despite being heavy favorites in every match they've played. In the round of 16, they went down 2-0 to Egypt and then scored 3 goals in the final 15 minutes to avoid the upset of the tournament. The quarterfinals against Switzerland, despite the Swiss getting a red card in the second half, it still took extra time where Argentina got 2 goals by Julian Alvarez and Lautaro Martinez to advance to the semis. This semifinal, though, between England and Argentina is quite the international rivalry. Not only was there a brief 10-week war between the two countries in 1982, but the last time England won the World Cup in 1966, they faced Argentina in the quarterfinals and resulted in Argentina's captain getting a red card. The most famous example of this rivalry, though, came in 1986 World Cup when Diego Maradona scored a goal controversially with his hand, and they dubbed it the Hand of God goal. Maradona went on to score another one and seal it for Argentina in one of the best goals in World Cup history. The two sides would meet 2 more times in 1998 quarterfinals, where Argentina won on penalty kicks and David Beckham got a red card. And then 4 years later, Beckham got revenge, scoring a penalty to win in a group stage match. Once again, this winner of this game will take on the European champion Spain at Sunday at 3 p.m.
Ethan, 4 seconds. Who wins today?
England. Come on, England.
Thank you, Ethan. Time is of the essence today. Well done. Our unpaid, unqualified, and unofficial World Cup correspondent producer, Ethan. Back to wrap it in a moment.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Approach your retirement with confidence. With over 150 years of combined experience, the advisors of the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group provide advice and wealth management strategies to individuals, families, small businesses, professional offices, and institutions. With the Stike team, you'll have access to an advising team with extensive resources, a client-first mindset, and a passion for helping transform the lives of those we serve. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike today and join the team that's dedicated to your success.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Metro News This Morning. The biggest stories from around the state.
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
At Daniels Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniels is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniels.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Of course, the LRA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack.
Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. Powerball jackpot's $498 million. Mega Millions jackpot is $672 million. So go ahead, play today. Talk to you tomorrow. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.